What's up, man? It's Mike Stud. A pretty different story than most, you know what I mean? As far as getting into the music game, I was really just a normal student athlete. My freshman year at Duke, I was an All-American pitcher there, and you know, would have definitely played professional baseball. Once you get into professional baseball, it's still a bit of a journey to get to the big leagues where like you're playing on the Yankees or somebody like that. You know what I mean? There's farm systems. And I had a serious arm injury on my elbow. My arm blew out completely, so it's kind of the way the cards dealt. That arm injury sidelined me, and then from being sidelined, I actually kind of fell into music almost as a joke. And you know, to see it kind of go to where it's going now is still pretty crazy to me. But yeah, man, it's been a pretty unorthodox start. You know, it's a kind of a cool thing. I just kind of learned as I went, but just with the way the music industry is now, it's like you're not dependent on record labels anymore. It's really a very virally driven thing. With that being said, it's just kind of been a very organic thing where I've grown a fan base very naturally, and they've grown with me to the point where it's pretty strong now. I think I get pigeonholed a lot by people who hear like 3-4 records and like, oh, you know, he makes party music. You know what I mean? He makes college music. But it's just not the case. Like the real people who really like kind of sit down and listen and dive into it, you see, I have a lot of different style records. I got 4 or 5 like extremely meaningful records that were extremely important in my growth. Like very viral, like a few of them are over 1 million views, and they're my most meaningful non-party music I've ever made, you know what I mean? So I think that whole storytelling, kind of deeper side to what I do is like an aspect that goes a little bit by the wayside, but to the real fan, it's like a big part of why they fuck with me in general. You know, nothing's too far of a stretch. It's all like, oh, it's still Mike, you know what I mean? I have a chance of being somebody who's like really diverse and you know, can do a lot of different things, so that's kind of the goal. I think you're referring to a song called Past Gone. Nah, it's just a true story, man. I met a girl who came up to me after a show and was just serious depression that she battles, and she basically said to me, like, in so many words, said that my music kind of has like saved her, and she's still very much battling it. She just kind of blatantly said, you know, I wanted to kill myself, and I listened to some of your music, and it kind of like makes me feel a little bit better and that type of stuff. So like obviously, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? I was obviously affected by that, and we kind of struck up a relationship since then. So basically that song was just kind of documenting the story, and you know, we become friends and text, and you know, talk on the phone when she needs to. You know, it's not even really the type of records I listen to, you know what I mean? But so many of the fans, and they're just normal people, man. Like so many people deal with those type of emotions and issues. You know, we obviously had the album released a couple weeks ago, and it did what it did. And, you know, I was expecting it to do well, and I knew with the fan base that I have, I knew they would support it pretty strongly. But you know, it obviously turned a lot of heads when we did, you know, #1 on the hip hop charts, and #2 on the overall and the Billboard stuff. It was, you know, I don't think we expected necessarily to go that high, but it's really just due to a great fan base that really connected with me. It's really a sign of maturity and a stepping stone project for me. You know, contrary to a lot of what people think, I am completely independent, and that's by choice and by design, and kind of what I've been planning on doing since I got to this point. I got a record with French. Turned Up is called, and it's gonna come out. We're gonna put it out soon. It's supposed to be on the album actually, but we needed to get it. It needed to be cleared through Interscope, not just Bad Boy. Yeah, the French record is really cool, man, and I'm excited to put that out. Just kind of, my album came out, and his album just came out, so we want to just let it pass a little bit. But stemming from that, you know, we're going on the Relief tour. Like I said, we have. The main single off the record is going to be I'm Not Sorry. We have a video shot, we're just going to launch the video in the coming weeks. For the tour coming up, you know, we're starting on the East Coast, and then we just announced a West Coast swing like not even West Coast necessarily, Northwest region. So we're doing places like fucking Montana and shit like that. We never even did, you know what I mean? So I'm like really eager to get out there and see what it's like, you know what I mean? We haven't really done it, so I'm excited. Yeah, so on, you know, my website is MikeStudOfficial.com, and the Twitter, Instagram is Mike_Stud, STUD. But shit, what else? Yeah, and Facebook, you can find me there, just /MikeStudMusic. Yo, what's up, man? It's Mike Stud, and you're watching Civil TV for KarenCivil.com. Turn out.